saved all the bosses, this boss in particular, till last, because... this boss, this guy. This is where post-game bosses actually hit you in the face. Terminator Mach 2 had a cheap way to kill you, but it was counterable. The Villager thing, that Transcendent guy, had strong magic and physical attacks and statuses, but you could counter that easily. The Spirit World Challenger was focusing on Mystic and Dark, so that was easily countable as well. This thing, even if you counter it, you're still going to have a hard time. The Elder Dragon is, to most people, the hardest boss in post-game. At least in the list of post-game bosses that you can actually fight. And for pretty good reasons. He has two turns of which he can do anything he wants, which is, like, anything. Buffing his magic attack up, using any attack that he has, breath attacks, and whatever. And a lot of his attacks are just too damn powerful. Even if you have the proper resistance to all of the attacks that he has, he can still kill you, like, instantly. So, this is a matter of trying to have a survivable team, while also trying to have a team that can actually hit this thing. So, for the party setup, I have Reisen here because, while it's not necessarily easy, in fact, it's probably the hardest thing you're going to have, he is vulnerable to variety. It's hard as balls, but it's possible. And you would need a lot of induction or find a way to lower his resistance to actually get it around him. Again, it's like the hardest thing you can do, but it's possible. Byakuren here is for buffing up Reisen and Satori, for the matter, because Reisen and Satori are going to be the main offensive players for this, while also being the most defensive. Satori is not Reisen. Reisen being defensive? Sure. Sure, you can do that. You can do that just fine. Just defend. You'll do it. You'll do it just fine. I brought Aya with me because, as a dragon, this thing has a lot of breath attacks. So, when you know it, we can reflect breath attacks. So, that's one less danger to worry about. As long as Aya has reflects breath every single time, you won't have to worry about it. I brought Satori with me because she has... With the Satori that I have, she has a spell Medora, and the Medora by itself is quite a damaging thing. It can do like 5,000 raw damage on its own without even a buff or anything. She also has, if I can actually get her to cast it, Cosmic Minor, which you can learn from this dragon, or the lesser dragon, too. The lesser of the two dragons, I should say, because there is a dragon just like this in one of the post-dungeons. But running into it and being able to beat it is pretty much the same thing as fighting this guy. You have to be fully prepared, you cannot screw up the things that it can do to you. But, yeah, with this boss, you can learn Cosmic Linear, which costs a bomb, but it is the highest damaging mystic spell that you can learn. It's almost, even if it's single target. Man, my English today. Jesus. But yes, even if it does cost a bomb, you will want to get this because it is, no doubt, the strongest mystic spell that you can get, even though it costs a bomb and whatever. I also have Satori have a certain staff which halves the MP cost of everything that she casts. So bear that in mind while I'm having Satori cast all sorts of high MP costing spells. She's going to be very useful. Now, with that said, Satori also has Leaf Shield, Starlight Barrier, Raise Dead if she needs it, because this thing can kill anybody that he wants to in a quick second here. So, that's going to be a fun thing. But yes, if you have Medora, I would highly suggest using that, because it's piercing, it's unblockable magic damage, it's very powerful, and it'll help you get by. And if you have the equipment that she has to have MP costs, then you'll be just fine too. With that one. It'll help you out that much more. And I brought Reimu because every now and again he'll concentrate. And with that, when he does that, he's either going to do a breath attack, or he's going to cast a very strong magic that's going to kill everybody in sight. Not only that, she also has an area healing, so there's that. And just for constant damaging, if she needs to bring it along with her, like a lot of light spells and such. But a lot of her bombs are going to be used for her barriers. Not much else is going to be used out of her, so just be ready to use that instead. Now, even with this party setup, this guy can kill you out of nowhere, randomly, with some of the most bullshit things that it can do. You don't believe me? You want to try this boss yourself? I'll gladly let you try it, because out of everybody you'll talk to that have played this game, you will understand they all say the same thing, that this thing is the hardest post-game boss. Now with that said, having Reisen doing constant variety things, believe it or not, at one point I have actually gotten Berserk on this thing. And while that's a bit dangerous and stupid, while it is dangerous and stupid, if you can get physical down and debilitate on him, then he won't do much damage to you with just basic physical attacks. That, and when Reisen has a Slayer 2 permanent statuses, it actually does, like, a lot of damage, believe it or not. A lot more damage than you might think. So, if for some reason that you can have Reisen have her use her last word, or somehow or another cast Berserk on the guy, then you're golden. You can actually kill this thing rather quickly with a lot of Slayer effects. Another skill that you can learn from this thing, I believe, is Comet. But Comet by itself is a hard thing to do because you have to wait until it concentrates, and you have to use Magic Barrier, and it's all annoying. I'll just say that much. This boss and all of things you can and can't do to this thing is just flat out annoying. He's no doubt going to take about double the amount of time that you're going to take with any other boss. But if you have a good party setup, you know exactly what you're doing, and just try to have yourself defended for the most part for any of his attacks, then you should be good to go. Sadly, I don't have much else to say at this point. If you have to do varieties on them or whatever, you're set to go, really. That's all you really have to worry about. Iowa with Pledge, Reisen with Variety, Satori with Magic Spells, Reimu with Barriers and Light Spells, and Byakuren buffing and debuffing as much as she can, you're set to go. There is another thing I forgot to mention, though. This boss, if he reaches low enough HP, he can reach to a point that he can heal himself for 99,999 HP, rendering all that you have done to the thing practically useless, you with little to no MP, and you more or less just going to die horribly. So, not only do you have to damage this thing, but you have to damage this thing fast once it reaches down to that point. I want to say it's about 25%, 20%. I could be wrong about that estimate. If you don't believe me, you can look it up yourself if you want to. But this guy will cast an elixir on him to heal all that HP, and I don't think Sakuya's field spell, which negates all healing effects, actually stops that. I don't think it stops elixir for some reason. I could be wrong about that. But even so, as long as you have Reisen with her varieties and slayers, Satori with her Medora and Cosmic Linear, if you have it, and all sorts of other things, you'll be set to go. Not much else I can say about this, so just watch and have fun. I will say though, defeating this boss is quite an achievement if you can get dragons. You can get 2 dragon things out of them. Although you're probably better off like farming it some other way instead of like just killing this boss. Probably farming like Trapezohydrates and other stuff, but it's 2 dragon things if you're really up for it. The only other reason you will fight it is for a challenge, and that's about it. Dragon Fangs are worth a lot, though. They can give you a lot. They'll help you build and synthesize a lot of good items. But, like I said, if you really want Dragon Fangs, you could probably get them from like other things if you don't feel confident about beating this boss. Dragon Fangs are made by certain items that you can make or certain items you can make and or get during your post game. So it's not impossible to get Dragon Fangs if you don't feel like getting Dragon Fangs from him. So, no worries about that. Other than that, with this party setup, with all the things accounted for, this guy can be beaten. It's just going to take a lot of dedication, a lot of high-powered party members, and yeah, oh, fun. But that is it for all the post-game bosses. Now, do you feel confident in taking down any of these bosses? Do you have what it takes to slay a dragon, be the Spirit World Challenger, take on the Dojo Master? Well, if you do, you know what you have to do. Get the game, play the game, beat the game, and make it your own game.